I'm waiting on my own boil right quick. This ain't gonna be long. And you can hear me. I guess I got enough Old Bay or even Tony Satchery, still sneezing. But I'm gonna do this right quick. The professor. In the history. He's not saying that. Legal immigrants. There's a difference. These are illegal. You see, I don't care what y'all say. You're like, but I thought you didn't like the Democrat network. Look, we have no choice. We're using y'all network. I've been said that. I don't care what you say. It's like a shout out to me. I don't care what you say. Seriously. Yeah, these damn mosquitoes, whatever. It's like it's the end of the summer. Y'all still around, but whatever. That is American DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. Play this right quick. Unless you don't want to miss this. Check this out. Lost his pension. Yeah, there's some dirty shit right there. They would do that. I know for a fact they would try to do that and fuck you up if you don't go along with that shit decades ago. Comes from Matthew. Matthew? He was an F-15 pilot. I won't hold that against you. Mr. President, first off, I want to speak on behalf of everyone here and say thank you for taking time tonight to speak with our troops. I mean, what the hell is a D? I mean, I don't know. Literally, what is a DEI training? Is that like a FTX field training? Real shit where you doing out, you da da da. Your real training, dude, like it's a war. But he's telling about he's telling he told, but he wouldn't exactly. They tried to get rid of you. They didn't try. They did. You would fire those few woke generals who are a big problem. And at his age, he probably was at the most a captain, or if she's commander, a major or something. I don't know, maybe a colonel. I don't, But yeah, he nothing. He couldn't compete with generals and these woke generals. Watchful eye within the Pentagon to ensure this monster never returns to the Defense Department. Will you consider establishing a special task force office or position to ensure that these monsters... Now, see, he realized what, because that's what I was thinking. It's like, we don't need a whole office, but he said a position maybe. And I would think once he's done, I'm giving it away. Let me let it play. To the Defense Department. And I'm pretty good at this stuff. Sometimes you get it wrong. I'm going to put you on that task force. I think it's... Did you know that there's a specific 2,000-year-old Korean food that... These ads. Damn, YouTube and the ads.
He's not saying that individual, corporate, subtitles for this video.
Fire those few woke generals who are a big problem. I'm going to suggest that it might, in fact, require ongoing oversight and a persistent, consistent, watchful eye within the Pentagon to ensure this monster never returns to the Defense Department. Will you consider establishing a special task force office or...
What the hell? Y'all can't see it. So something, I did smell something that was on fire. I think you can't see it. But there's ashes falling down. Yeah, there go pieces right there. You can't see it. I thought that wasn't just barbecue. They're barbecue because they're playing music. These motherfuckers that set some shit on fire on purpose and they're blowing it over here. Those are ashes falling. Yeah, you can see it right there. They a barn fire or something. But the smoke, the smell is gone. Yeah, there go a piece of it. Yeah. Let's see.
So
that's ash. It went straight into my clothes.
I don't have any subtitles for this video, but essentially this gentleman who seems like a stalwart in the military community, he was an ex-Space Force commander that was created by Trump, but he was fired for questioning the DEI ideologies that have been backed by Biden and Harris this entire time, have turned our military into an absolute joke, which in turn has manifested itself as turning America to a joke to the entire world, projected weakness all over the world. And Trump listened. I mean, he's so authentic, so real. He listened intently with considerable focus and attention on this amazing gentleman. And by the way, Matt, I sent you a message on X. Everybody follow me on X because I post a lot of stuff on X I can't post anywhere else. I'm at Professor Naz. Link in the pinned comment, show notes, and description. I sent you a message on X, Matt. I want you to come on our show. I would like to talk more about this because I know a thing or two about DEI, having worked in the public sector and taught at some of the most prestigious universities in the world. I know a lot about DEI, and I've been fired.
I said, I think that's what I'm saying. This is like a shout out. Remember I said I was watching this video a couple of days ago. I don't care what you say. I thought normally every time somebody do what he's doing, it's gang stalking. I've been told you, y'all network has been compromised. What the hell is that now? I guess you can't see it. Damn, I know it's an airplane. That's just an airplane. It's flying slow. It's just high as fuck. And the sun is shining right. But anyway, I said, I figured he's like at them super woke. He was another one, at them. He's all over the world. He's the super wokey woke, Yale and probably Cambridge and other places we never even heard of. Oxford or some shit.
Exactly the same way you have for questioning these DEI woke ideologies. So we have a lot in common. But President Trump then said, I'll do you even one better. The guy asked him, will you designate a special task force to oversee these military factions and how they incorporate DEI practices that essentially are discrimination, period. And he says, I'll do you one better. I'll make you the head of that task force. He says, we can't find anybody better. How about I just make you the head of that task force? Shakes his hand, honors that. You know he's going to do it.
So that's the thing they hate. They hate all of us for that. And that's how y'all is stupid people. Y'all couldn't understand. I don't care what you say. We're stupid. Y'all is calling us stupid. Just like earlier, I'm gonna keep bringing it up. Like, yeah, nigga, you stupid. But and really, I was talking about how he get lost in your building, whether you're the owner or you're on duty, you working there on shift, or more than a supervisor. And he said, my family, whatever it is. All y'all, that's what I said. Y'all don't. Okay, so y'all don't have the skills to survive without Google. Simple. Anyway, I said it already. And that's what when I was a kid called the landmark. It don't have to be a big. It's just McDonald's. Women would talk like that. Women supposed to get lost all the time, but New York and they can't afford to get lost. You know, what's a landmark I should look for? That's what they call it. Look for it. Da 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 da. It's gonna be a Rite Aid or something. I don't know. This is the '80s or whatever. It's gonna be a White Castle or such and such. On the right side and right hand side, then go 3 more blocks. Once you see that, you about 2 minutes away, or stop at a phone booth. This is the '80s, and call me and I'll come get you. But anyway, so
Always follows through when he does things.
that's why Trump is one of us. Not they tried to say, well, Trump was rich, born rich. That's not why we say he's one of them, because he does what he says. Remember I told you. And just like I said, in the '80s, gangster rap, '90s, early '90s, everybody rappers used to love Trump. It's just you can feel someone who's like us, even though he was born rich or whatever. Whatever it is. So you do what you say. Mean what you say and say what you mean. It's not a trick. We all understood that. It's not a trick phrase. Say what you mean and mean what you say. We all understood that. We didn't have to say that again. Explain it. Explain. Nobody had that. I'm talking this high school. This will save your ass from getting jumped on by a gangster disciple or whatever. Yeah, whatever, or anybody. Crips. Just whatever. That was the simplest thing. Just say what you mean. And before they came around, whatever. And like I said, because down south, it was different than where they, LA and Chicago, maybe more, because all these dudes had moms and dads and granddads, because this is the South. So all these guys, the football, all of them, so they, it's a mix of the gangster stuff plus, old man shit that. No competition. I'm just saying, that's how things was, and that's how we all know, y'all, they keep trying to sabotage Trump and this and that, just like you try to sabotage me. So it looks like I don't care. It's not, I want you to feel what I felt when you died. No, I don't. Honestly, I don't. Remember, I keep saying I feel bad for y'all. It's like y'all keep fucking with, I'm gonna have, but I don't want you. You're not gonna feel what I felt. You're gonna feel something way worse. Well, I don't know. It's like I don't know what's worse. Honestly, but either way, it's like I wouldn't want to, I'm not wishing that on you. That's why I'm like, just leave me the fuck alone. It's over, and I'm just gonna forget about it. I don't want revenge. That's a waste of my time. But you keep coming at me, and it's getting worse. And I gotta warn my fellow Americans, seriously, and just people across the globe. I'm not gonna shut up.
Like this in public, it's on the record, and he's done it a million times before. If this doesn't endear you to the type of leadership that we need, I don't know what will. I mean, this is just a small example, but it's an example that to me is a metaphor, a beautiful analogy of what Trump has consistently, again and again and again, reflected in his passion, his pride, his devotion, his dedication, his leadership, and his love of country. Time and time again, DEI has infected every institution, every organization, every industry in our great nation. I have called this the greatest contagion, the most infectious virus, 10,000 times more infectious than Ebola, COVID.
That's what we all said. Back in 2020, the stupidity and all that shit is the real pandemic. Is somebody house, because this is not the barbecue place. They cutting down the fire.
Because it's a psyop.
This is
See it, but it permeates everything.
Let's see. It might be coming from the front.
It's essentially discrimination because it's perpetuated by the fact that it's not on the quality of the individual, it's not on the actual results, skills, and acumen of the idea or individual. It's based on things that nobody has any control over. And it has literally destroyed higher education, our health care.
Lower education too. Grade school, kindergarten, seriously. All that dumb shit. All is just destroyed, you know. But that's the good thing. They destroyed themselves because it's stupid. They're stupid and they brainwashed themselves with stupidity.
The quality of processes, systems, goods, products.
Let me see if this shit is burning somewhere. That is regular smoke, but I don't see no smoke. I can smell it, but I can't see it. And shit, the what is it called? The ashes were falling. Unless it's them fools burning trash or something. I don't know.
Across every vertical imaginable. Our government, Kamala Harris, with Biden's own admission, Biden has said this. It's on the White House it's on the White House website. You can look this up. Biden has even claimed that Kamala Harris is a DEI pick. Kamala Harris is the worst vice president in the history of our country. Kamala Harris was district attorney and attorney general of my home state, which is now a dystopia. San Francisco, a shadow of itself. California, largest exodus in the history of our state, largest taxes in the history of our state, largest illegal crossings of migrants in the history of our state, and the largest exodus of residents and small businesses in the history of our state. That was created by the principles and ideologies of DEI and wokeism by Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris. She had one task as Vice President of the United States. She was the border czar, but even more important than just names and...
Newsom is funnier. Gruesome Newsom is not as funny as Newsom. That's a good one. I'm gonna start using it. But it's no, if I find a story...
monikers, there is actual receipts, records of Joe Biden, the president, the vegetable in chief, saying, I want her to take control early in his term.
Are you tired of overpaying Uncle Sam?
Honors that. And now they're going to this many people in the swing states.
Oh, here we go.
Board, free clothes, free medicine. We have the worst border crisis in the history of our country.
All this is because
over
of
20 plus illegal military age
Kamala.
men that have been given the red carpet, that have been given funds, credit card, free rent, free food, free room and board, free clothes, free medical care, and now they're going to give them free down payments to buy homes. Why? Because they're sending them all to swing states, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, everywhere. Why? Because they want to assure that they will win the election unfairly, and they want to make sure that they retain power for decades upon decades upon decades, which essentially by having this many people in the swing states, literally funneling them, migrating them to all of these cities and towns in swing states, it ensures their uniparty victory for decades to come. These are military-age men, by the way. These are not people or families like the Ellis Island immigrants that built our country, who were families looking for better places, looking for promise, looking for opportunities, and they actually...
Ellis Island, I mean, they didn't build our country all by, you got the Chinese immigrants that built the railroad, Shanghai. And so, yeah, this will say, yeah, he's supposed to be a professor. That's what I'll say. These Democrats, California, they still trying to work their way in there. And so when I said, what I said about WAP, I must have, maybe I learned, I don't know exactly where I learned it from, but it must have been a special, probably on History Channel, about Ellis Island. Even though, and that's why I watched it, because I'm from New York. And I think I only went to the Statue of Liberty once. I remember going up, and I remember I must have been real young, maybe first. And they was telling me, oh, you used to be able to go up into the, the Crown, but they closed it or whatever. Or whatever used to be able to. But by third grade, you're learning about what Ellis Island really was, and how the French, sent us the Statue of Liberty or whatever. Not whatever, I'm just saying, right? And so the workers, that built that, it's not, no, they didn't build the country. See, this will say Democrats are always talking about one group built the country, this and that built the country. That's what it's like. And I think he really is trying to not be, he really is, but they can't help themselves. It's always got to be, some kind of one thing happened, built the country. Ellis Island, it's not a competition, nigga. I would just say I know what WAP mean, and like I said, I saw it in movies. Matter of fact, I don't even think I knew any Italians when I was a kid in Queens. The only Italian I knew, he was real Italian, was when I was in the 82nd. That was my nigga. He used to come over to the house and everything. I had by then I was living on post outlets. He was one of my little. He was not because he was a mechanic, but he hung with us. His buddies. They all were the same age, like a year and a half younger than me. That's a big difference, meaning I had been in the Army longer than them. And I ranked them and all that, but not by, whatever. And literally, like I said, either one of them is like three of them. They, da-da-da. And matter of fact, I took his Lil Kim CD. He might not, because, he had went home and come back. And he got, I'm like, man, but it's like, oh, that, the big one, the pink one, the first, yeah, it's like, give me this shit, nigga. But he ain't know about it, whatever. We be in, whatever. But them niggas, they just doing dumb shit, knucklehead shit. They couldn't get it together. Like I said, either one of them could have been on my team. But they didn't want to get it together. They just want to fuck around and da-da-da-da. I tried to tell them. It's like, it's not racist. And I wouldn't talk about, oh, you're white. That's what I'm saying. They're all just complaining. They just didn't like that shit like that. But, that's my little, all of them. It was my little niggas, even though, But so anyway, that ain't even what I'm talking about. That we didn't, I'm talking about the movies. The 60s. The movies or whatever. That wasn't Robert De Niro, all that. Once Upon a Time or whatever. And what I'm saying is, the WAP meant, and the real what it meant without papers when they came in like 1902. Meaning they didn't have immigrant. Meaning they just came over. Technically, they could have been illegal, but, they just held them for a while. Really, it was about, diseases, whatever was going around back then in quarantine. And so when they got off the ship, and I think it was on History Channel probably where I saw it. And I'm like, oh, that's what that means. Because, you're watching these old, well, they wasn't even old. They was made like in the early 90s, Robin, these old, but it's supposed to be the 60s. The mob movies, and they calling each other WAPs. Like, what is it? And I never even thought about it. Whatever they call it, where does that come from? Never thought about it. I just happened to catch it probably in 2014, watching History Channel. An episode and really it was about Ellis Island. And then it just explained, it just meant They would get a piece if they because there obviously there were Italians coming over from Italy who got everything, the papers, and they've been vaccinated, the whatever they had the vaccine back in 1902, and they're like, yeah, okay, you good, there you go. But somebody else come over, he ain't got nothing. They would okay. They wouldn't, they just write on a piece of paper, a big old piece that, they already had a system and put it on their back without papers. So they started calling each other WAP. It was a kind of derogatory because you had to be quarantined because you don't have without papers. That's all it meant. Meaning you got on a boat, sailed to America in 1908. Look it up for yourself. But I didn't look it up. I saw it on History Channel, back in the days of cable, probably 2012 or something like that, like 12 years ago. That's how I know what that means. I just immediately I thought about, the mob movies, because we didn't know Robert De Niro was such a piece of shit against all Americans. Yeah, he hate Trump. You saw it. Remember, he's talking, he might come get me. Why is he gonna come get you? You must have did some treasonous shit. Not because you're an Italian or this and that. You did something against all Americans if Trump come to get you. He gonna come get me, or either he's he got dementia or something. Who he gonna come get me? Shit. But I don't remember much. It had to be on History Channel, probably. I think I was up here. I think I was in my apartment over on the other side, not the one where I first started. I had another one.
For opportunities, and they actually earn.
But the bottom line is, he feel he got to explain too. But where we are, he is keep everybody keep explaining. Nobody, damn well we're not saying we don't like immigrants. Most of us, we're black folks. We're not immigrants. We're descendants of slaves. But like I said, I did my 23andMe or whatever the fuck. One of them. Yeah, 10% Irish, like I said, all is it, but 49% Nigerian. So, and some other stuff too, so the people it said might be, distant cousins, these super white people that did, links up, that, and I had been saying it. This don't have to be, the slave owners. It don't mean that, there was the slavery, wild tempers. It could be, but in the night, whatever. It could be just motherfuckers, whatever, getting together, hooking up. Don't know, or how far back it goes. And so everything to y'all Democrat, that's how you keep telling on yourselves, is a competition.
People think, well,
y'all would never get that. I'm like, that's how y'all going to defeat yourselves. Everything's a competition, and you're stupid.
Against immigrants. Immigrants built this country. His father was from Germany. His mom was from Scotland. Of course, immigrants built this country. We are not saying.
And see, first of all, it's not immigrants. It's not even just slaves built the country. That's what I'm saying. Y'all keep these Democrats. You got to watch them, especially these Ivy League professors, especially an Ivy League professor like him, probably from somewhere in California, who worked his way. He probably did. He probably worked his way and yada, yada, yada. But he was super Democrat. And at least he's smart enough to wake up, but he's still talking about who built the country. That creates a competition. Because like I said, even Chinese people can get in. Oh, we need to go to railroads and this and that. Shanghai. And our people were Shanghai. But they Shanghai, again, like slavery. They Shanghai their own people to send them over here for money, to build the railroads. And without the railroads, this is before New York, the industrial age. It's like, no, you don't. All this competition, who built it? That's why I said we got to watch these Democrats, or these ex air quote Democrats. But my potatoes boiling, so I'm out of here.